Hi, I'm Tony Williams, and you're welcome to Knowing What I Now Know. Knowing What I Now Know has been designed to be a series of personal development and motivational videos that I'll be putting out there over the next few months, geared at encouraging, inspiring, motivating, changing and challenging our default mindsets as they were. It's geared at, changing our perspectives to life and our outlooks on life from our own viewpoint, opening our eyes to other ways of living or other ways in which we could fulfill our purpose and make an impact in life. It will be mostly based on my life experiences, my failures, my ups, my downs, where I was, where I am, where I'm going to, my success, and most of the experiences that I've gained on this road to reconstruction over the last sort of 10 years or so that I've been on it. My passion really is to see as many lives as possible that had once lost hope or been despondent in a way or another, be able to find themselves back on the right track, knowing that there is hope as long as we there is hope as long as we have life, but not making those decisions, having to conform to somebody else's idea or somebody else's belief, but through the power of their own mind and their awareness that they have within their self, knowing that as an individual, whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve, and know that as individuals we have the power to become whatever we want in life as long as we put our minds to it. So off that premise is how the video blog Knowing What I Now Know came about, but I would think in a way it will be unfair to come up here and just keep saying, well, I could tell you a thing or two about what I now know, or something that I now know about which I wasn't aware of in my past way of living, without you having a clue, or without some people having an idea of who I am, or at least know a thing or two about me. So having said that, I'd like to use this quick opportunity to have a quick rundown on my background. I was born in the UK some 40 years plus ago, which makes me a fine young married man. I did the early part of my education in the UK. After a few years in the UK, like most Nigerian parents, we collectively, and I said collectively because all the siblings and the family moved back to Nigeria, which in its own was a life sentence for me, because it was a kind of trip that, well, they said literally, not that they did say it, but literally it was like, if you don't go to uni, you're not getting out of here, or if you don't attain a good standard of education, you would not be getting out of here. So we moved back to Nigeria, and where I did a part of my secondary and then part of my university, and after a period of time came back to London. I did the rest of my uni in London, and then started operating my own businesses. I'm a husband, as I said earlier, I'm married to a lovely wife. I wouldn't ask for another. I'm a father of 2 kids. Are doing exceptionally well. One's in uni and one's shortly going to be sitting her GCSEs. Work-wise, I'm a digital marketer and web designer. I have an office in central London where we specialize in creating a good online presence for our clients and bespoke their marketing needs as they wish. So that's basically it. Apart from my hobbies, I should say, the best footballer Chelsea never had. I a passionate content writer, a motivational writer. I have a couple of books that I'm working on in the pipeline that should be out pretty soon. I love reading. I love my time where I just have time to reflect on myself, my life, where I am, where I'm supposed to be, and the journey of my life as a whole. So that is it. So why is this blog different? Why would it be different from anything you have seen in the past, or from any other speaker, or from any other mentor or life coach, or whatever you want to call it? Well, I figured that everyone out there is doing an exceptionally great job, you know, and I of the school of thought that everybody does have a message to pass down onto someone. By nature, we're meant to be a source, you know. We're a source to our kids. We're a source. We should be a source in the relationships that we create. We're a source to impact other lives. So by nature, we should have a story. We should have something that we're handing over. We are not meant to be an open and closed chapter. You know, people are meant to be able to benefit off our existence, you know, in life. Just how, in one way or another, whatever situation we found or find ourselves, we have at one stage benefited off of the existence of somebody else. And I think just generally that's the way human beings should be. So in that respect, I feel we always have to find a way or opportunity where, as long as we have life, we are creating impact, or we're giving out, doing something to help somebody else or to elevate somebody else. So I feel everybody's doing a great job, the speakers, the motivators, the mentors, but I personally feel there's a disconnect in the relationship between some mentors or some life coaches or some motivational speakers and their particular audience, because with the current way things are, and the fast rate at which technology are moving now, where we could sit behind the screen and just do everything, people see their mentors when they are at their level of success. They don't actually connect with them, or they can't relate to them when they were on their, you know, on the floor, when they didn't have nothing. You know, the only way they could relate to that is by stories, or the mentor saying, "Oh yes, you know, I was in your position once," you know. But it's never like raw and hardcore, and, you know, like if you and your friend are broke, busted and disgusted, sitting together trying to look for an opportunity to get out of where you are, to get into the next level, or have a better life, or carve out a better life for yourself. And I feel that's the disconnect between some speakers or mentors or life coaches and their audience. And so for that reason, people are never satisfied, you know, and then you see a lot of people changing their speakers or listen to all sorts of quotes to, you know, just quench that thirst that they have within their self, to constantly affirm, or to have their minds, you know, constantly encouraged and inspired that, you know, life doesn't have to be this hard. Surely there has to be a better way of it, and they take it off that. But where this is different is this is where I come in, trying to place myself not where I am now, but where I was coming from, and go back into that root cause or that society or that environment and bring people physically up. It's like physically carrying people up to where I am, and this is not done by any special magical powers or special effects or by any form of material, you know, showboating, and all of that could be possible, but I feel it's a given because people could see it, but most people don't end up ever experiencing. So I feel that people would appreciate more if they had a someone around them who would daily oversee, you know, their walk to freedom, if I could put it in that way. It's just like having a gym instructor who, you know, shows up every time you have to work out, and who tells you that, okay, these weights are good for you, these will get you your desired results, these won't get you the desired results, you know, but he's physically there with you on that journey to fitness. He's physically there with you on that journey to losing weight, and I feel that's so important, and that's where I come in. I'm not coming in with any form of what can I say, vanity, if I could use those words. I'm coming in telling you that if you believe in yourself, if you focus properly, if you use the default tools that you were given when you came out naked from your mother's womb, you know, the power of your mind, you know, the power that made all the 5 organs function correctly, the power that, you know, enabled you to learn, to talk, to walk, to, you know, to run, to jump, to bend, to sit. If you use those powers, you know, we've been created as human beings to use those powers as an individual, which is embedded within us, you know, to conquer the world. We don't need no external enhancement, so to say, if we could lock in to the powers that we have within ourselves. And you'd be surprised, you know, it'll be like magic, because the belief, the confidence, you know, the lost hope, everything that you never thought was achievable, you now realize that you could get them at your fingertips. You know, you could dream big, you could decide that, you know, I want to do this, and you know that with consistency, affirming it and carrying on, working, you know, you would get it, you know. So that's what I'm bringing here in this blog, which is why I said it might be a little bit, well, it probably will be different to what you've heard in the past. And all of this, as I once said, will be coming off my own life experiences, because the journey that I've walked to get to where I am, I had to use all these tools. I had to start reevaluating my life. I had to start believing in myself. I had to start knowing that I'm capable of doing more, you know. And in a world which is so cold and callous, and you really think your friends are your friends, but they really aren't. You know, when you get to a crossroad where you're despondent and you need to make these decisions, the only person that you have to rely on is yourself and your God. So that's where it is. So why do I qualify to speak into your life? Why do I qualify to say anything to you? Why does my story have to be something that you know, so I anticipate, or my perspectives or my views? Why do you think, you know, it's anything that might impact you or might change you? Or, well, I would like to think I'm coming from a very, very bad place, you know, as I said, that but thank God for grace, I should say that. Yep, I'm coming from a bad place, but thank God for grace. But as I said earlier, we all went back to Nigeria at one stage, and Nigeria in itself, it was a defining moment, to say the least, for me. You know, it's what shaped me to who I am today. And I had to find myself taking the good and the bad out of that experience, using it at some stage in my life for survival, and then using it now as a grown man for morals, and also to know the things that are right to do and the things that are not right to do. And that's just basically how it is. I mean, I find that many young men and women that leave the UK, they fall into the same situation. I mean, it doesn't matter how well off or not your folks are, the environment there, it's, you know, nowadays we would use the word radicalize, or you know, or being lured into to joining a gang and stuff like that. And there was no difference from what was happening back then in Nigeria, whether it was through, you know, your social circle, the good groups, or, you know, gangs we joined in uni, or, you know, the things you had to do just because of the peer pressure to impress, to have an image, to have a standards, to create an element of fear around you. And we carried that on, you know. I have a quick story that I always like sharing. One time I was at uni, I think by this time now, my actions and activity were so bad, my parents were just, you know, so fed up with me. But again, thank God, and God bless my parents. My mum never ever gave up on me. My dad, he went the easy way. He just used the belt on me. So between her praying and between me getting belted up on a regular basis, you know, I had a fine balance of getting, you know, some kind of fear and sense into my head for authority. So moving forward, I was at uni one fateful day, and then I think, I can't remember what happened, but I just know I got put in a car by some people from my mum, and by the next time I know it, I landed in some Pentecostal church, you know, being sort of chained literally down to a pole, with people saying, today we're going to cast out this evil spirit in you that's just making you go on a mad one, you know. And it was a huge life experience for me. It was life changing as well, because that was a Pentecostal church, and people that were chained down, it wasn't like a rehabilitation hospital. It was just an open space where just people who were rich, who just snapped at one time, lawyers, doctors, professors, people who just, you know, lost it all and snapped, and then those people who are really spiritually challenged, who, you know, just have these out of body experience in the middle of the night, say they're flying up and down to, you know, suck blood and do all sorts of madness, i.e. witches and wizards. We're all chained together, and the only form of rehabilitation was actually beating and praying, you know. So there you go. And between that experience and coming back to London, I think although I had it at the back of my mind, I think I rebelled more towards the fact that my big old self was they're going to chain me in the church for all my mad activity. So I came to London, you know, sort of kept the same social circle from back in Nigeria, and just did the same things, you know. In a way, I won't say, you know, I regret anything I've done, because I think like it's shaped me to the kind of person I am. It brought me to that crossroad where I had to make the decision, you know, to either go the right way or sink in the wrong way. And I felt with me doing that, and with me now realizing that what I thought was life wasn't actually living. It might have been life, but it wasn't living my life to the fullest. I think that's where my passion began to, you know, sort of grow for lost souls, and to bring people from this dark place that they're in, from this fooling myself mentality or believing that I am somewhere when I'm really not, you know. And for that, that's why I think over a period of time you know, I qualify it, and I think I could mentor people. I think I could not convince you, but I could nurture you on the right way to go, having been able to experience, to relate, I shouldn't say experience, relate most of the things that anyone has gone through. Because I mean, if it was the good things, we were on it, and we were on it nicely. If it was the bad things, we were on it nicely, to say the least, you know. And in spite of all of that, I still kept businesses, my, you know, proper businesses running. I still was a father to my kids. I still, you know, operated a couple of high road shops, I should say, not high street, high road shops, for a substantial number of years, before I went off into sort of just a different field of occupation entirely. So I've travelled a long way. I've got to a place where I've now, you know, found peace within myself, you know, and I think we all are capable of finding this peace, no matter, you know, how despondent we are. We all could find purpose for our life. We all could fulfill and impact, you know, our plans and purposes, and impact our you know, our society in a very positive manner. You know, where we weren't made to just waste away. I'm 100% against that. I think you know, we all are fearfully and wonderfully made, as the Bible did say, and everything that God has created, He has created perfectly well. There's no wrong in it. I always say that. So if there's a wrong route, it's sometimes because our minds and our visions is obscure, and we can't see clearly. But the minute, you know, scales are pulled off of your eyes, you know, or our eyes, we now realize that, you know, we're in a place, but we ought to actually be in a different place, you know. So this whole idea of this blog is to bring us for those who are in a bad place, to bring them to a good place, from those who are in a good place to bring them into a greater place. And that would be what it is. Over the sort of next few months, I want to put these posts out every Monday and every Friday. There might be times where I struggle to upload them, so it might overlap into a day or two, but it definitely will be consistent, and it definitely will be coming out. There'll be a whole bunch of various topics pertaining to our issues of life, pertaining to, you know, the environment we live in, how we could change our mind and change our lives, you know, about the world we've all come from, and I mean all, talking about the sort of life that I lived in the past, where we should be as individuals, and where we need to set our targets on. It's all a journey for me, it's never a destination. So for me, there's nothing sort of cast in stone. I feel individually we always have to move forward in life. When we complete one task and challenge, we move on to the next one. So I never find myself at a position where I think, you know, I'm on it, so it's easy for me to still say I'm on this journey. And as they say, if you don't know where you're coming from, it's a little bit difficult to know where you're going, you know. So that would be it. I'm want to then use this opportunity to say that if there's anything that you do want me to talk about, please always drop me a comment. If you feel my posts and my blogs, it inspires you, or it challenges you, or you know, it just causes you to think, or causes you to reflect on life situations, or you know, whatever things you might be going through at that, please subscribe to the post, because I could guarantee you there'll be more things. And all it takes should be a knocking on the door of your heart, or the knocking on, you know, on your mind, or something to cause you to shift your focus at 1 minute, and then boom, we're in. And we just expand on that. As I say, there's no difference between how those people who change lives for bad to those people who could change our lives for the better. Is all working with the power of the mind and the tools that they know that if they capture in us, it doesn't have to be flashy, it doesn't have to be materialistic, it doesn't have to be money. But if you could capture the right tool in our brains, all those things will follow suit. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, please subscribe to my post. Visit our website, like our Facebook page, and if there's anything else that you want me to talk about, kindly drop me a line. God bless.